We had walked to a nearby stream and passed around Ren's canteen to get some water in our bodies.
I think we should rest here a while.
Ren said as he sat down on the grass next to Nora.
It has nice sun cover and some water. If animals start coming in large numbers, we can easily leave. They won't be looking for a fight, just for a drink.
He really seemed to know a lot about nature. And Grimm.
Nora and I have done a lot of traveling together. You pick up on things as you do.
He seems so relaxed now. It's almost hard to see the two facial expressions belonging to the same face.
So, I guess we should learn about one another, just in case we end up on the same team, or even on a mission together down the road. I'll start. I want to be a hunter because they destroyed my village.
I was homeless and Ren took me in. It's a wherever he goes, I go situation. So I'm becoming a huntress to make sure he stays safe.
Oh, yes, and not because I make you pancakes.
Well,
She struggled to find an answer to this statement. We all had to laugh at her. These two were great partners already. Granted, it makes sense why. It sounded like they've known each other for quite some time. I looked over at Pyrrha. I wonder if she and I would ever be like that. I mean as partners. Not in any sense of romance, of course. She's a 3-time champion in tournaments, insanely beautiful and everything I'm not. But she's still my partner. She even chose me in the beginning. Sure, it's because I reek of inexperience. But still, a beautiful and talented huntress in training chose me as her partner. So, will we be able to read each other like these two? It would be nice. I tried flexing my arm a bit. It was becoming less numb thanks to my aura, but now it went from numb to throbbing pain anytime it moved. Hopefully, the pain would stop soon in case we were attacked again. Though with the 4 of us, I would say most Grimm would be at a disadvantage. Though enough thinking that for now. It's time to relax. The battle against the King Taijidu marked the first Grimm either Pyrrha or I have killed. Hopefully not all Grimm will be that much of a challenge.
so what about you two? Why are you two here?
Well, to be honest, my sister and I are champions in the Mistral tournament. We decided since both of us have been champions in tournament settings, we could go and try to help people outside of entertainment and commercial deals.
Well, Jaune, how about yourself? What brings you here?
Well, my family are well known for their hunters and soldiers. There isn't an arc in history that wasn't some kind of a warrior. And, well, I think it's my turn. I looked at the others. Ren and Nora both looked impressed, as if not expecting that a person like me would actually volunteer to come here. Pyrrha, however, did not have that look. She had a look that resembled a combination of reassurance and pity. She knew. She knew that I wasn't prepared at all for this. Now I'm in a place. I can't just quit and go home. The pride of the Arcs is now on my shoulders. This was a huge mistake, but too late now.
Jaune.
Pyrrha's voice pierced my train of thought. I looked at her, her face still having that reassuring feel.
Jaune, you defeated a King Taijitu. You risked your life for us, albeit unnecessarily, but you still did it. Just so you know, no matter what, I won't regret choosing you as my partner.
I blushed a little and nodded. As much as I loved to hear those words, it still added a lot of pressure. So many things to prove to so many people. We all jumped when we heard laughing in the distance, as 4 young men traveled together. One was a tall, fairly built guy, short red hair, had the best looking armor money could buy, and had a stare that showed nothing but arrogance. The one on his right had a green mohawk. He was the smallest of the 4. The guy on his left had bronze armor and brown hair. The one on the opposite of red had long, gray-blue hair. To be honest, All of these guys sort of had an air of privilege around them.
Well, what do we have here?
Red said, his voice filled with the tone of, pick a fight with me. I hated guys like this, but I was always too meek to ever do anything.
Looks like a bunch of misfits lost in the woods. Is that the great Pyrrha Nikos?
Pyrrha audibly groaned in annoyance as the man straightened his hair.
Now that'd be quite the partner, wouldn't you say, boys?
Murmurs of agreement went between the three.
So, have you decided on a partner? I could always switch with old Russell here.
Russell, the smaller hunter in training, turned his head in insulted shock.
The fuck, Cardin?
Cardin looked at him, shutting him up immediately.
In fact, I do have a partner.
She put her hand on my shoulder. Cardin stared at me for a second. Oh great, Pyrrha, now I'm gonna die from a jealous asshole instead of a giant snake. Instead of being violent, he just laughed.
Are you serious? Him? That's the stupidest thing to do. The guy looks like the only thing he's good for is bait.
Well, that was technically what I did against the giant snake.
No, seriously, be my partner. I won't be as much of a burden as this loser.
He did have a point, I think. I mean, I still don't understand how semblances and aura work.
I said I already have a partner.
Pyrrha, it's not that big of a deal.
Fine. But whenever we find your body's lifeless, don't blame us.
He gestured to the others to follow him away.
Hope they get their asses kicked.
I could very happily oblige.
Nora's face distorted into a sadistic smile. It's all fun and games, I'm sure, I said, just wanting the moment to pass. We're all just high on adrenaline and emotions are high, so let's just rest and move on. The others just sighed and closed their eyes. I couldn't, however, no matter how gentle the stream was flowing, or how nice that breeze felt. I kept thinking about what the guy Cardin said. I knew I wasn't top-tier material, but did I give off the loser vibe that much? I looked at Pyrrha. I wondered what it would have been like if she got a better partner, like her sister or even Rowan. I looked forward towards the area where the 4 boys stood. Yet, she chose me. Why, though? Why does she not regret choosing someone that could end up getting her failed? I scooted back immediately, feeling something sharp stab into my lower back. I yelped, making everyone's eyes open and look around. I shot up looking around for what stabbed me.
Jaune, are you all right?
Yeah, something just stabbed me in the back and startled me. They all let out a sigh of relief. I saw something glint in the sun and dove right toward it. I started digging around it the best I could, praying not to get cut or stabbed again. Eventually, I pulled it out. A spearhead? I looked at it confused, and our scrolls went off.
Pyrrha Nikos and Jaune found artifact. Objective completed. Please make your way 2 miles north to the nearest clearing for pickup. Estimated wait time, 25 minutes.
Nora and Red stood looking at the artifact, Nora the most unimpressed.
Looks like a normal spearhead to me. I was expecting something like an ancient helmet, or maybe like a jewel from long ago royalty. Ooh! Or maybe a dinosaur skull!
I immediately chuckled at the image of Nora carrying a giant dinosaur skull back to Beacon as her and Ren's artifact. Ren put a hand on both of our shoulders.
Congratulations. We'll see you once we get back, okay?
Both Pyrrha and I nodded our heads and said our goodbyes, heading straight north like our scrolls told us. The journey there didn't take as long as I had thought, or maybe my nerves just made the walk feel shorter. We didn't talk on the way there. I imagine Pyrrha was feeling the same way, and neither of us had the words to convey. After a few minutes, we made it to the clearing. It was surprisingly vast for a clearing in the middle of a forest. Wonder if it was man-made, specifically for drop-offs and pickups, such as this one. Either way, we sat in the grass and waited. So, we made it.
We did. Never had a doubt in my mind.
That response shocked me. I mean, it probably shouldn't. Pyrrha oozed with an encouraging aura, yet it still shocked me. Are you sure? Not even a little bit? She shook her head. God, I had doubts since getting on the airship, let alone falling, her catching me, the bear, the snake, the Cardin. There was no doubt towards Pyrrha. She's a 3-time Mistrali champion. She can handle herself. Me? Well,
We did.
I'm just a guy with
Never
a badass
had a doubt
last
in my
name
mind.
that has a badass legacy, but likes comic books and video games. I was trained by my father and sent to this school on my last name alone. To be honest, I don't even know if I wanted to come to Beacon. Yet somehow, I killed a King Taijitu, and now waiting for an airship to literally take me to Beacon Academy, and one step closer to becoming an Ark like my dad and my ancestors before him.
Jaune, you're going to do fine. My family is filled with tournament fighters, but that doesn't mean it was any easier for me to become one myself. Every Nikos has at least one championship. That was an insane amount of pressure to put on a child, and I failed a lot. But that didn't stop me. You have a legacy that reaches to the beginning of recorded history. That doesn't mean you crumble. Prove to every Ark before you and after you that you are the standard bearer.
Standard bearer? That's a laugh. The only standard I ever bore was how many days in a row can you stay up catching up on all my favorite comic book series, and then rereading the whole series. Twice. When I went to say something filled with self-doubt, though, I couldn't. Her green eyes looking back into my blue eyes. How can I say anything to her? She had so much hope and faith in those eyes. Damn it. Yeah, I'll do my best, I said, crestfallen. I was filled with so much fear and anxiety as we heard an engine in the distance as it landed nearby, and as we walked toward it, I just imagined what destiny holds for us.